who are work authorized and have been hired and accepted an offer of employment would be wrongfully denied because of the errors in E-Verify, the opportunity to start that job. And so in order to correct all of those things, you would have to consolidate across federal and state systems a massive amount of personal data, and then it would need to be continuously updated, and you would have to link the identity information across the country.
Before we get into this, make sure you like this video, subscribe to Capital Truthline, and turn on notifications, because what you're about to see proves exactly why the federal government cannot be trusted with your job, your data, or your freedom.
Could you walk us through the most significant problems with E-Verify's effectiveness? And what do you know about the system's error rates and the number of work-authorized people who are wrongfully flagged or rejected from employment each year?
Yes, thank you for the question. So mandating E-Verify nationwide would be a mistake because the system is not ready for the millions of small businesses that are not currently enrolled. Part of what we know about who is enrolled, that 13% of employers who are enrolled, is that they tend to be much larger employers. So they tend to have HR departments and more infrastructure and capability to handle compliance requirements, unlike the smaller businesses that by and large are not enrolled and do not have that type of in-house assistance to handle the burdens. So that means that they need to do things like technology upgrades and staff trainings, and they'll be facing different types of operational challenges in order to get to a point of compliance. And on a nationwide level, people who have researched that have estimated that it would cost those employers collectively billions of dollars to do that, to reach that. Even for businesses that do comply, those companies, as we have discussed, already face raids and audits. It doesn't stop that from happening. Despite championing the system, the administration is unable to kind of give employers any real protection against the unreliability of the data. So what we don't have good current data on the reliability of the system. And I think one thing that the committee could focus on is getting a more current study on the error rates, because the last time an independent external evaluation was conducted was in 2009. That's a very long time ago. But if you take the error rates that they found at that time and you apply them to our current employment numbers, our national folks participating in the workforce, in the labor force, we think that anywhere between roughly 200,000 and 520,000 people each year who are work authorized and have been hired and accepted an offer of employment would be wrongfully denied because of the errors in E-Verify, the opportunity to start that job. And I know that proponents of the system will talk about, it's got a 97, 98% effective rate. The fact is that in your jurisdiction, if you have people coming to you because you were denied the ability to start a job that you had been offered and you have work authorization, that is still not going to be an acceptable number of 97%.
Ms. Han, do you think the federal government should create this kind of national database for workers? And why does this idea give you a pause?
Yeah, so I think in order for E-Verify to function properly, it would require a massive consolidation of data that does not currently exist, right? We would need state agencies and federal agencies. We would need the photo databases, and then in addition, what we haven't even talked about yet is the flaws in the SSA database and how those affect people in this system as well, right? The Numident database, which is the name of the database at SSA, has errors in roughly 17.8 million of its records, and including things like outdated citizenship status for foreign-born workers and lawful immigrants. And so this is the reason why there's a higher error rate and disproportionate harm to people who are naturalized citizens or who are work-authorized immigrants. And so in order to correct all of those things, you would have to consolidate across federal and state systems a massive amount of personal data, and then it would need to be continuously updated, and you would have to link the identity information across the country. And that process is not only impractical, but it would effectively create a centralized national ID infrastructure that tracks every worker in America. And that raises some serious privacy concerns. And beyond the risk of hacking, I think it also would expand the government's, it would enable the government to conduct surveillance far beyond employment verification, eroding civil liberties and creating a tool to monitor individuals in a way that it was never intended.
We need to talk about what just happened in Congress, because this hearing exposed something the left did not intend to admit out loud. Ilhan Omar was questioning an expert witness about E-Verify, the system the government claims can fix illegal employment. But instead of defending it, the witness laid out exactly why the system is fundamentally broken. First, she made it clear that E-Verify is nowhere near ready for nationwide use. Only about 13% of employers are even enrolled, and those are mostly large corporations with HR departments and legal teams. The kind of companies Washington always protects. Small businesses, the backbone of this country, would be crushed. New technology requirements, training costs, compliance rules, all of it adding up to billions of dollars just to satisfy federal bureaucracy. Then came the number that should alarm every American. Between 200,000 and 520,000 legally authorized workers every year would be denied jobs because of government database errors. These are people who followed the law, accepted job offers, and still got blocked because the data is unreliable. Supporters love to brag about a 97% accuracy rate, but that means nothing if you're the one denied a paycheck. One mistake is too many when it costs someone their livelihood. Now don't be fooled by Ilhan Omar nodding along. The squad isn't pointing out these failures because they want to fix enforcement. They're doing it to justify dismantling enforcement altogether. This is the same strategy every time. Flood the system, let it break, then claim enforcement doesn't work. And the most dangerous part came at the end. The witness admitted that for E-Verify to actually work, the government would need to consolidate massive amounts of personal data across federal and state agencies. Identity records, photo databases, employment histories, all linked nationwide. That's not verification, that's a national ID system. She also revealed that the Social Security database alone contains around 17.8 million errors. These are the same people who want to control healthcare, employment, and your finances, yet they can't even keep accurate records. This is why conservatives have warned for years about government overreach. Broken systems don't protect freedom, they justify surveillance. We don't need a failed database spying on Americans. We need a secure border, real enforcement, and a government that knows its limits. That's the truth the left doesn't want you to hear.